Greetings, nail techs. I'm going to get my camera turned around. Join in. Hi. Welcome everybody as you join in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. We'll let everybody get a chance to get joined in here. Usually it takes everybody a few minutes. Welcome to Nails Over Coffee. And this is January 7th, and I'm your hostess with the mostest, Michelle Cordes Pugh, of course. So, and today, since we're at my nail table, gonna goof off with some CYO gel stuff here in a minute. I am not only rocking my World of Color California Adventure mug, but I am also got my Minnie Mouse glasses on so that I can see what I am doing with this lovely CYO gel stuff. So, without any further ado, let us take a look at what we've got going on in the handy dandy notebook. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about today was, so there's been this warning going around on social media about the pastels in boxed hair color. And that really got me to thinking that, you know, we talk a lot about damage to the natural nail and how we shouldn't be damaging the natural nail and all of that. And I think that, of course, we should always strive to be not doing anything to the natural nail that we don't have to. But so I had posted in Nail Professionals Technical about, you know, how willing women are, totally accepting, us included, into going into a nail salon or going into a hair salon and getting our hair colored. And sometimes really brutally, like double processed bleach so that then we can deposit some crazy color onto it. And it seems like at some point everybody's done it, you know, messed with their hair, trashed their hair. You're using intensive treatments for, you know, months afterwards. You're cutting ends off your hair that are gross and fried. But everybody cringes at the idea of even sparing one nail cell on the nail plate to an enhancement service. And so it really got me thinking and got me sort of irritated because I think that the industry has gotten sort of a bad rap. So as I brought this up, there was some definitely good comments. One was, you know, women also don't color their hair and then strip off the color to let their hair breathe, which I thought was funny. But since there's a lot of people who are also hairdressers as well as nail techs, it was really good to have this analogy that they've, of course, been using for years because they do both. So Victoria Hunter posted a link to one of her blogs that was a conversation between a couple of professionals in another forum about this very topic. And it's kind of long, but it's really good. And so I'm going to post a link to that in the comment section below this video on Facebook. And that way you can read through it. I think it provides a really good way for us to explain to our clients, well, and to people in general who say, oh, I had acrylics or gels or whatever, and they trashed my nails. I think that this is a good way to kind of wrap your brain around so that if we can make this part of our normal terminology, then wow, what we can just change the industry as a whole. So super important stuff, super important to think about. So I'm going to post that link in the comments below. Also, one of the other things that I saved that I wanted to bring up was there was a question. Nope, that's not it. That's the CNTC. I belong to like 100 boards, so, or groups, so it takes me a second to find everything that I'm looking for. Oh, there's also a link to a video, which I think I'm going to also put in the comments, because the thing I found that was really interesting about this nail art video is you end up with something that to the layman looks a lot like a one-stroke flower. And the link is in Italian, but the video is in English. And I think that it's important because, so this is the end result of the art that she does in the video. But how she does it is with regular dotting tools and a fine art brush and everything. And I think that this would be really helpful for people such as myself who are struggling with one-stroke art. Especially in a way to be able to do it quickly enough to not only be happy with the results, but to make some money at it too, because let's face it, that's what we're actually doing this for, right? Okay, so that was the couple of things I wanted to make sure that I covered on this, the handy dandy notebook part. So let me tell you guys what else I'm doing here today. So what I'm doing is I already have pre-done a bunch of these little nail sample sticks, and I am with a bunch of different polishes to compare to. And then I am going to mix the different brands of polish I have. I have an Orly, a Cuccio Color, a Seche, and a Nicole by OPI, and a Dazzle Dry. And I'm going to mix those with the CYO gel mix so that I can see what the color does on these clear sample tips next to the actual color of the polish. Now, for the Cuccio Veneer, I also have, or Cuccio Color, I also have Cuccio Veneer in the same color, so can compare to that. And I also have Cuccio Veneer in the in white to compare to the Seche CYO gel white. So that way we can get sort of a comparison. And then I'll also post pictures of the finals, and I'm writing everything down like my chemistry friends will appreciate, like a good student in my lab notebook, taking notes on everything. And I learned from when I did the trial with the Vinylux, if I would have tried it on these tips before I had already gotten somebody in my chair to try it on them, I probably would have not done that brand on her to try it because it didn't work out very well, even on the sample tips. So that's why I'm doing the sample tips this time first. And then if any of these turn out really good, we'll get a live guinea pig in the chair for another show and do that. So let's see. So does anybody have any questions, comments, complaints, anything before I get started here on this? I can see my screen, so I'm going to go ahead, I think, and leave my screen this way for a little while. Let's see if we can get my lamp to where it's not shining right in your guys' face. Okay, so I have my empty bottle here, and I've numbered all these bottles so I can keep track of which is which. And there's starch in the brush. Now, those of you who have seen the show the other day, Charisma Nail Innovations has a mixing bottle that is an amber bottle like this is, but it's not coated in the white. And it's got lines on it that show proportion, which is super cool. However, I have no such cool things here. Besides, I sort of wanted to do this just like CYO Gel says it should be done, using their bottles so that we would have a good idea. And I don't use a whole lot of polish. I got these polishes I've chosen were polishes I either have duplicates of or I had some laying around, so I wasn't wasting a bunch of product. So I'm really just kind of having to eyeball it in this bottle. Now, when Mikey Wen does his CYO gel demonstrations, he has an empty clear OPI bottle that he uses and if you have a polish shaker, this is a fantastic time to use it, because the hardest part about this process is getting it mixed enough. And the tabletop polish shakers do an awesome job of that, like a paint shaker in a hardware store. You know, when you go into a hardware store, you look at paint that, you know, you'd have to stir with a stir stick and it takes forever, versus they throw in the paint shaker for 30 seconds and it's well mixed. Well, that's sort of the equivalent of doing it this way. So if you're going to mix your own bottles, do yourself a favor, and it seems like on all the websites they're $30. Buy yourself a $30 polish bottle shaker. All right, so now we're going to go with the Cuccio Color in Singapore Sling, which is a fantastic polish line if you've never used it, by the way. It lasts really well, and when I use it with my Famous Names Lumos base and top coat, it wears really, really well. So love that combo. It's a good combo. And I can actually see my chat window, so if anybody has any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, all are welcome here. I promoted this post. I was hoping I would get a few more of you in here to see this. I'm sure it's going to get a lot on replay, but all right. So we'll start mixing this one. We'll get another bottle for doing the white. So yeah, I already went ahead and did the sample sticks for the polish, so I wouldn't bore you guys with that. So yeah, see, if I had one of those paint shakers right now, I'd be able to have this hand-free to do this. But alas, I do not, because I didn't really figure. So now there's some other alternatives that I found out about recently. I have found out that there is Elegant Glass has what they call a suspension gel. That is for mixing your own pigments in with and everything. Now, I think that there's a lot of brands that we can do our mixing our own pigments and glitters and everything in. But Tiffany Cordoza with Cordoza Nail Supply was kind enough to talk to me about that the other day, and she thinks that she's going to periscope using the suspension liquid. So when I have that video link, I'll make sure that I get it up for you guys. Also, I found that from companies like Tough Enough Nails, that they focus on just mixing one for one client at a time. Now, if that works into your business model, of course, that's super cool, because then you don't have to do this. You're mixing on a tile in front of people, so it's more like a customized palette thing, and it mixes with polish too. But that's something that then again takes time at your table, though. So you have to determine if, whoo, that lid didn't screw on, if that doesn't work, you know, if that would work for you. So the one that I'm really interested to try on this is the last one I'm going to mix, which, so right now I'm going to mix the Nicole by OPI. But the thing that I'm really interested in mixing is I have this half a bottle of Dazzle Dry in a little bottle, and I'm going to top it off with some CYO gel and see how it works. I'm going to tag Vivian, the creator of Dazzle Dry, in this video, because she and I were discussing that it actually shouldn't work. That without knowing what's in the CYO gel, but just knowing how she designed Dazzle Dry, that whatever is in the CYO gel shouldn't work. Now, I have to tell you, as I am pouring these polishes into these bottles and looking at the consistency of the polishes, the Nicole by OPI is significantly thicker. And so I noticed that in a lot of the other CYO gel videos I watch, it's OPI polish they're mixing it with. And I'm really starting to wonder if it's just going to be a product that works better if you are using OPI, which would certainly be understandable. So, okay, we're going to put the lid back on this and put that over there. And we're going to top this off. Although just doing these few bottles in a row, I feel like I've gotten better about gauging the 50-50 mix. So, yeah, so the next one I'll do is the Dazzle Dry little mini, and I'm really excited to see if it does something crazy when I mix that. So yeah, it's Thursday, hump day, but lots of you guys are busy with clients. So probably have a lot of people catch this on replay. I'll make sure I post it to all the groups. Shame, you missed me in my glasses. Looking like I do when I'm at my nail table with my clients. All right. But I knew everybody wanted to see this. We've talked so much about the CYO gel. So this shouldn't take me too long to get these applied on these sample tips. And then I will get you back on your way. So we're going to go ahead and fill up this little dude. Which I like about filling up this little bottle is, aside from the fact that it doesn't waste as much product, is that I can actually see it mix, which I can't in the other ones. Maybe I should have done this one first, huh? What do you think? All right, so let's see if I can get a little better angle here. Okay, so I already did the Dazzle Dry sample stick. And my camera is actually sitting on top of my UV light. So let's get this Dazzle Dry bottle all mixed up good and well. And then we are going to pop it into my CND traditional UV lamp. I'm going to go ahead and cure these for the 2 minutes. I just want to make sure LED lamps are so different. I just want to make sure there was no discrepancy with, see, this isn't mixed enough. So, yeah, this is going to be one of those things. I wanted to do this live, though, too, because I wanted you guys to see that, you know, this is product trials. This is how you do it when you're deciding in your P, that's for process, what products you want to use. Don't just put whatever on your clients. You pick your product lines for your clients, and then don't change over your whole product line for your clients until you're like sure that it's one you're going to use, because and you've totally evaluated it all the way, because you don't want let's see if I can make this so that you can see it, because you don't want to be ooh, I think Vivian might have been right. It's really streaky. It's good pigment though. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start that. But, so, yeah, you know, you want to go through and do all of these trials before you be using anything on your clients. So I wanted to share this trial type experience with you so that you could see what this is the kind of thing you should be doing before you go and put anything on your clients. And then you should try it on yourself or on a live guinea pig before you start putting it on people. You know, the people who pay you don't necessarily pay you to be goofing off on their nails. Okay, so I'm on to the sesh. And I've just got my lamp on and I'm just putting them in here because I'm going to go through and mess with the Dazzle Dry. So if I go through and cycle it, I figure, oh, I didn't break the starch on this brush. So make sure you break the starch on your new brushes. Yeah. So just a little nails over coffee here that would be thoroughly boring to anybody who isn't a nail tech. You know, because that's what we do, right? Yeah, I forgot to break the starch on the brush, so I'm getting polish CYO gel all over my nails because that's why we can't have nice things, right? That's why we can't have nice things. Okay, so that should have fixed that little problem. I gotta tell you, mixed with the white, it does seem to have some pretty good coverage. I have to say that I'm pretty excited about that. The white sesh made for some good pigment. And you know, we all struggle with finding a white that doesn't get all thick in the bottle and everything. And since this has very little solvents, it seems like this would be... So, all right, we're going to do this last Nicole OPI one, and we're going to turn the lamp on again. And although, while I said that it seemed to be a thicker consistency polish when I put it in here, it's not looking thicker consistency now. Maybe I don't have it mixed well enough. I don't know. We'll see. So much room for error with this whole, you know, I got to get some of those measuring bottles. So we're going to do that. We're going to put another coat of Dazzle Dry on. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's really like textury. So definitely not as, oh yeah. Definitely. Now, the downside to this is it has, because it's kind of clumpy, it has fantastic color coverage. But it's gross. It's kind of ooey gooey. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah. So I think that Vivian's probably right. That I don't know. I mean, but let me tell you, the pigmentation from the Dazzle Dry totally works with the CYO gel. So maybe when this is all said and done, I will try a CYO gel with mix with just regular traditional pigments, and maybe we'll get an idea of how that works. Because you know, if we're using a traditional pigment with the gel base and we don't even have to mix it with the polish, but we have the option of mixing it with the polish, well, that would be kind of an interesting combination to be able to customize, right? So sort of do the multi-purpose thing of a couple different things. So I can put my CYO gel away because I don't need any more of that. And I can tell from how empty the bottle is now compared to how many bottles I've made that it probably has been mixed pretty close to the right consistency. So let's take out the Orly CYO gel and see, that's one coat. See how sheer that is? So let's get the second coat of Orly and CYO. You know, let's get the second coat on of these bad boys and see how we compare to what the regular polish looks like versus what some of these veneer colors look like that I just put in here. Okay, Cuccio. I got a couple stuck in here. Well, that's kind of a bummer. My Sesh and my Cuccio stuck together. I can tell you the Sesh one's cured though. Okay, so Cuccio. But yeah, so interesting trials. I can tell it's really weird. The Cuccio went on really sheer, but as it cured, it actually got more pigmentation. So that's kind of a bizarre little phenomenon. I can tell you from experimenting just thus far that the alternative long wear polishes are not going to be as good as your traditional standard lacquers. The Cuccio Color is a lacquer. Nicole by OPI or OPI is a lacquer. It didn't work well with the Vinylux I used in that trial. This Seche that I'm using is a traditional lacquer. Definitely seems to work better with the lacquers. So let's go ahead and turn that on for another go round. So I'm also doing 2 in here in the veneer, because when here in a couple minutes when we're done with this, and I think this is still going to be under half an hour. It's going to be close. I think the differences will be really obvious. I think you guys will even be able to see it on the camera, but you'll definitely be able to see it when I take the pictures and post those. So then we can sort of put this this CYO gel question to rest, and then we can try the Tough Enough Nails sample that Brenda sent me with some polish and see how that works. And yeah, I think Tiffany Cardoza said she might send me some things to try too, and then give me some step-by-steps. So the cool thing about this is by testing all these products, I'm going to be better able to help you guys find technical answers to some of your questions. So while I'm waiting my extra 58 seconds for the lamp, so I don't know how many live web viewers I have, but I only show one person available for chat. So if you'd like to chat, I have a minute, literally. Well, 50 seconds now, but. I know, sometimes it's hard in the middle of the day. All right, so we are going to grab my CYO gel. This has a T on the bottom of it. This is my top coat. We're going to grab my CYO top, and I'm going to second coat the veneers, and I'm going to top coat all the rest with the CYO gel, and then we'll be able to take a look and compare some colors. So let's get some veneer on here. This is Singapore Sling I'm using, which is a beautiful color, by the way. Gosh darn it. I just turned it over in my lamp. Don't we hate it when we do that? Oh, it didn't mess up too badly, though. Okay, and then I took the tray out of the bottom of my CND lamp, so it's flat. It doesn't have the little finger things, but, and this is veneer in Verona Lace, which is a great white that doesn't wrinkle for doing French manicures. So we got those in there. And now I'm going to CYO gel top coat the rest of these. And then we will be able to take a look at what we have here. Yeah, the Dazzle Dry is definitely more of a textured finish. But I have to tell you, it has beautiful, beautiful color clarity. Now, Dazzle Dry is a brand that dries fast anyway, 5 minutes with no light and all of that. But sometimes we still have the guests who they want a gel polish, or they can't handle the even the 5 minutes. So this might be kind of nice to, if you had Dazzle Dry in your salon, because it's vegan and it's free of a lot of the chemicals that we see in traditional polishes, lacquers, that it might be kind of nice to, if you have Dazzle Dry as an option for your conscientious clients. It seems like to be able to mix it with the CYO gel to turn it into the gel type product would be a cool advantage. So we're going to go ahead and CYO top all these. I got to tell you, I love the top. I'm excited to buff down my nails and put the CYO top coat on because it is, I want to see if it yellows at all because it is definitely a, it's definitely super easy to put on, a nice viscosity. It's kind of thick, but not so thick that it's gooey. But it brushes on really smoothly. It goes on really evenly. It's super shiny. And so I'm kind of interested. Oh, it's nice. Whoops. I'm super interested to see how that works out for over the top of acrylic. So I'm getting ready. I'm about a week old on my nails. So it's time for me to buff them down and everything. So we're going to do that. I don't think there is anything else on Facebook that I wanted to talk about for 60 seconds. So let's just take a gander here. So we'll see. Let's see what's going on in the Canadian Nail Tech connection. So this is a good little piece of advice for us. We'll be coming close to end the day on. It's a meme. See? It's a meme. And it says, if you don't value your time, neither will others. Stop giving away your time and talents. Value what you know and start charging for it. And I think that is definitely a good thing to think about as we head into this new year. You just have to be able to break down what you want your pricing model to be. There's nothing wrong with being high value, high quantity and low cost. So you're doing lots of clients for a lower price versus doing less clients for a higher price. It's a total business model. It works in all ranges, and we'll definitely cover that on some of the University of Nails videos. So that's going to be you just have to think about the whole thing, and that's why product selection like these fits into how that works. Oh my goodness, I did definitely stick together some of these, didn't I? Okay, so let's take an example here. So this is Cuccio Color all by itself. This is Cuccio Color plus CYO Gel. It's pretty close. And this is the same color in veneer. So when you're using a traditional lacquer, if you can remember my pictures from the Vinylux one, this is significantly better. So then we also have, so the Dazzle Dry is interesting. That is regular Dazzle Dry. See if I can get a good spot where you can see. And that is Dazzle Dry and CYO Gel. It definitely worked. You can see the shine line. Still shiny. So that was interesting. I didn't expect that one to be that. And so this is Seche by itself. Super pigmented. You can't see behind it at all, even though it's on a clear tip. And then this is the veneer in Verona Lace. Same thing. Super white, super pigmented. And then this is the Seche with the CYO Gel. Boy, let me tell you, if I had $1 for every time that I ran out or my white was not acceptable for French in a gel polish, and I wish I could have made my regular polish into a gel polish, I'd be a gazillionaire. So that's really good to know. Might be good to have a bottle of CYO Gel around just to mix that up in case that happens. So then I have the Nicole by OPI all by itself and the Nicole by OPI CYO Gel. And you can see that even the Nicole polish without the CYO Gel is still actually a little sheer. If you're using an LED light, so you're only curing for 30 seconds, you'd have to put a third coat on with the CYO Gel. But I don't know that you wouldn't have to put a third coat on with the regular polish either. So if you're only curing for 30 seconds, then that extra coat doesn't take you very much time. So that's interesting. And then the Orly was a huge difference. Now this is the Orlick Orly Epics, which is a lot like, it's the no base coat, high shine, has its own separate top coat, that kind of deal. And which is a lot like the OPI Infinite Shine, those type of products. So it was the one that performed the worst. Look at that. That's almost as bad as the Vinylux was. So apparently these long wear, no base coat, kind of different polishes, you can see that the Orly color is still sort of semi-sheer itself, and it shouldn't be. It's supposed to be pink. But then it's really sheer with the CYO gel. The pigment just doesn't do it when you dilute it down. It barely gets by for the polish. So that is all the trial of the CYO gel. I'm going to take a bunch of notes, and then I'm probably going to find my daughter guinea pig like I used the other night, and pick one of these that worked well, probably the Cuccio Color and Cuccio Color Veneer and the CYO gel. I think I'll probably do one hand veneer and one hand CYO gel and color. And so that way we can see how they wear. Because I think the Vinylux and versus Shellac one did not turn out well. I need to get that off her nails pretty soon. So we'll do that. But other than that, I think we can kind of close the book on the CYO gel thing. It looks like it works great if you're using a traditional lacquer. But if you're using any kind of a specialty, lacquer, then it won't work. So if you're using Vinylux or the OPI Infinite Shine or like the Orly Epics, those it looks like pretty much the no base coat polishes don't seem to have enough pigment. Now, Dazzle Dry, I'm interested to see what it does in this bottle, because it was really thick when I put it on, but the coverage is really good with the CYO gel. And I don't know, that's interesting. With Dazzle Dry, I had some chipping on super, super short nails, and so it might be kind of nice to have an option with the small bottles of mixing it into a CYO gel for the client and then sending them home with the color to touch up on. Might last a little better on those edges. Anyway, just food for thought. So that is the end of Nails Over Coffee for today, January 7th. Thanks for joining in, and I will see you tomorrow. Make sure you send me your questions if you want to have me look into something. It's nailsovercoffee@michellecordis.com, or you can post the questions up on the Nails Over Coffee Facebook page, and I will check it out. All right. Make sure after you're done watching this video, you like the Facebook page and you go to the comment section below and check out that blog from Victoria Hunter, and also check out the close-up pictures of the end of this. All right. Thanks for tuning in.